Inverses is one of the topic in the cryptography and network security, which is the one of the part of the mathematics using in cryptography. What is the inverse? Generally, when we are working in the modular arithmetic, we need to find inverse of a number which is relative to an operation. Generally, sometimes we need an additive inverse for a number. It is relative to the addition operation. Sometimes we use multiplicative inverse for any integer, which is relative to the multiplication operation. So for addition operation, relative to the addition operation, we are using the additive inverse. Relative to the multiplication operation, we can find the multiplicative inverse of a number. Okay, what is the additive inverse? In Zn, two numbers, say a variable a and a number a and number b, are additive inverse of each other if their addition is congruent to 0 mod n, where n is the modulo n. So its meaning is addition or sum of a number and its inverse should be congruent to 0 modulo n. That means we should get the 0 remainder after dividing a plus b by n. A plus b by n. So where n is the modulus. So how to calculate the b value? Here b value can be calculated by using this one. B is equal to n minus a. So here n is the modulus, modulo n. N is the modulo value. A is the a number for that we are going to calculate the inverse. So a is the number. So to find b is its inverse. A is the number, b is its inverse. So to calculate the b, the formula is modulo n minus a, n minus a. Example, what is the additive inverse of 4 in Z10? 4 in Z10. So here 4 is the a, 10 is the n, 4 is the a, 10 is the n. So to calculate the b value, inverse value, so 10 minus 4 is equal to 6. So the additive inverse of 4, the additive inverse of 4 is 6 because 4 plus 6 here, 4 plus 6, 4 is the integer number, 6 is its inverse, additive inverse. So 4 plus 6 is equal to 10, which is congruent to 0 when modulo 10. In other words, 4 plus 6 is a 10. 4 plus 6, when you divide this with 10, we are getting the 0 remainder. So if you get the 0 remainder, that means this 6 is the additive inverse to the 4. Similarly, what is the additive inverse of 9 in Z10. 9 in Z10. Very simple. So the here A is the 9, N is the 10, and B is equal to N minus A. So that means 10 minus 9 is equal to 1. So additive inverse of 9 is 1. So is it correct or not? We can check by adding this actual number 9 and its additive inverse equal. This sum value is, when dividing with it by 10, we are getting the 0 modulus. So here actually one of the thing is, in the case of the modular arithmetic, generally every integer has an additive inverse, every number. For example, in the Z10 or in Z10, from 0 to 9, in Z10 from 0 to 9, every number has its additive inverse. 0, it has its additive inverse is 10. 1, its additive inverse is 9. 2, its additive inverse is, for 0 its additive inverse is 0 only, because 10 mod 0 mod 10 is 0. That's why. Okay. For 1, its additive inverse is 9. For 2, its additive inverse is 8. For 3, its additive inverse is 7. Like this. So every integer, each integer has an additive inverse. Okay. This is the additive inverse. This is the additive inverse. Now come to the multiplicative inverse. If it is the multiplicative inverse, generally in the case of, in the Z10, two numbers A and B are multiplicative inverse of each other if their multiplication is congruent to 1. It's not 0. If it is the additive inverse, it is 0. But since it is the multiplicative inverse, a number and its multiplicative, the product of a number and its multiplicative inverse should be congruent to 1, not n. In other words, whenever you divide A into B, whenever you divide A by B, A into B mod 10, mod n, you should get the remainder 1. You should get remainder 1. This is the, whenever you are getting the remainder 1, that is the multiplicative inverse for the given number. So the multiplicative inverse of here A is B, when the product value should be congruent to the 1 modulo n. For example, come to the example. Multiplicative inverse of 3 in Z10 is 3. Multiplicative inverse of a number 3 in Z10 is, here is the number is 3. What is its multiplicative inverse in the Z10? From Z10 means its numbers are 0 to 9. What is the multiplicative inverse to the 3? So multiplicative inverse of 3 is 7. The multiplicative inverse of the 3 is 7, because when you multiply the 3 with the 7, the answer is 21. This 21 is, this 21, whenever you modulo divide this 21 with 10, you get the 1 remainder. So 21 mod 10 equal to 1. That means 21 is congruent to the 1 mod 10. So in other words, a number and its multiply a number and its multiplicative inverse number, then it should give the remainder 1 after modulo dividing with 10. So this is the multiplicative inverse. But here one thing is, in the multiplicative inverse, actually in the multiplicative inverse case, all all integers. All integers may, any integer otherwise, any integer may or may not have an multiplicative inverse. But in the case of the additive inverse, each integer has an additive inverse. But in the case of the multiplicative inverse, each integer may or may not has a multiplicative inverse number. So here one of the thing, whether a number, to find whether a number has multiplicative inverse in the set or not. For that, if A has multiplicative inverse, A has a multiplicative inverse if and only if GCD of n comma A is equal to 1. If GCD of n comma A is equal to, GCD means greatest common divisor of n and A is equal to 1, then only this number A has a multiplicative inverse in Zn, okay. For example, GCD of 10 comma GCD of 10 comma 3 is equal to 1. GCD of 10 comma 3 is equal to 1. How to get this one? We have a small calculation, very simple calculation. GCD of 10 comma 3 is equal to 10 comma 3 is equal to GCD of first this 3 comma what is the remainder after dividing 10 by 3? 3 is 9. 10 minus 9 is 1. So here you put the 1. So what is the GCD of 3 comma 1? Any number GCD comma 3 comma 1 is, here it is GCD of this one comma 1 3. So what is the remainder after dividing 3 by 1? It is 0. GCD of 1 comma 0. So this is equal to GCD of 1 comma 0 is 1. So GCD of 10 comma 3 is 1. Since GCD of this 10 comma 3 is 1, this 3 has multiplicative inverse, that is the 7. So like that, if you decide a number, whether a number has multiplicative inverse or not, so this is the one of the way. GCD of that n comma a should be equal to 1. That means GCD of n comma a equal to 1 means whenever the greatest common divisor of two numbers equal to 1, they are called relatively prime numbers. When the numbers are relatively prime numbers, then they have the multiplicative inverse number. Example: find the multiplicative inverse of 8 in Z10. Multiplicative inverse of 8 in Z10. Here GCD of, so here one thing is multiplicative inverse of 8 in Z10. This we need to find out. For that, first of all, check GCD of 10 comma 8, whether it is 1 or not. If it is 1, that 8 has the multiplicative inverse. If it is not, GCD is now GCD value is not 1, that 8 does not contains the multiplicative inverse. So that first of all, find out the GCD of 8 and 10. So GCD of 8 comma 10, GCD of 8 comma 10 value is equal to GCD of 8 comma 10 is equal to, how to write this one? GCD of this 8, comma, what is the remainder after dividing 10 by 8? 8 ones 8. So 10 minus 8 is 2. 8 comma 2. Remainder is 2. So GCD of 10 comma 8 is equal to GCD of 8 comma 2. This can be written as GCD of 2. That means this 2 second comma 8 by 2. What is its remainder? 0. So this is equal to GCD of 2 comma 0 is equal to 2. So it's not 1. Since the GCD of 10 comma 8 is not 1, we can say the 8 doesn't contains, the number 8 doesn't contains multiplicative inverse in Z10. In Z10. We cannot find any number between 0 to 9 such that when multiplied by 8, the result is congruent to 1. So there is no multiplicative inverse of 8 in the Z10. And one more example is find all multiplicative inverses in the Z10. Generally, in the case of the Z10, but that means 0 to 9 numbers, only 3 numbers has multiplicative inverses. They are 1 has the multiplicative inverse, and 3 has the multiplicative inverse, and 9 has the multiplicative inverse. Only these 3, 1, 3, 9 only has multiplicative inverses in the Z10. There are no multiplicative inverses for the numbers 0, 2, 4, 5, 6, and 8. For these numbers, there is no multiplicative inverse. So for number 1, its multiplicative inverse is 1 only. For 3, its multiplicative inverse is 7. For 9, its multiplicative inverse is 9. So because 1 into 1 mod 10 is equal to 1. 1 into 1 means 1. 1 mod 10 equal to 1. Next, 3 into 7. 3 into 7. Its value is 21. 21 mod 10 equal to 1. 9 into 9. Its value is 81. 81 mod 10 equal to 1. So that these are the pairs. These 1 and 3. 1, 3, 9 are having the multiplicative inverses as 1, 7, 9. No other numbers are, they don't have the multiplicative inverse. So that means if you multiply any number with 0, that is 0, its modulus value is not 1. 2, it is not, if you multiply any value with 2 from 0 to 9 in Z10, it is not giving the remainder 1. Like that, 0, 2, 4, 5, 6, and 8, they don't give the remainder 1. They are not giving remainder 1. That's why only 1, 3, 9 are having the multiplicative inverses in Z10. Sometimes here extended Euclidean algorithm is useful to find the multiplicative inverse of a number. Here extended Euclidean algorithm is useful to find a multiplicative inverse of any number. Okay. For that, for example, come to this one. For example, find all multiplicative inverses of, find the multiplicative inverse. Find multiplicative inverse of 23 in Z10. 23 in Z100. What is the multiplicative inverse of 23 in Z100? It's not 10, Z100. So what is the multiplicative inverse of 23 in Z100? For that, we first, as per the previous explanation, we can find out the GCD of any two numbers using the extended Euclidean algorithm by using the tabular form. That's why first take the Q in one column R1, R2, R, T1, T2, T. The initial value of R1, here I need to find out the GCD of 100 comma 23. GCD of 100 comma 100, this 100 comma 23. That's why R1 equal to 100, R2 equal to 23. And initial T1 equal to 0, initial T2 equal to 1, and to calculate the T value, its value is T1 minus T is equal to T1 minus Q into T2. Okay, so initial R1 is 100. Okay, this is the 100. R2 is 23. So how to get the Q value? So how many times 23 divides 100? It's 4 times. 23 4 times is 92. What is the remainder after dividing 23? After dividing 100 by 23, 8. So it is remainder. 8 is the remainder. 8 is the remainder. So here 123, R1, R2. Q, how to get the Q? R1 by R2. Its value is 4. 4 times 23, 4 times divides Q value. And what is its remainder? 23 into 4, 92. So 100 minus 92 is 8. So R is 8. Then come to here. T1 initial value is 0. It's fixed. T2 initial value is 1. It is fixed. How to calculate this T value? Its value is T1 minus Q T2. T1 minus T1 means 0 minus Q. That means 4 into 1. 0 minus 4 into 1 means minus 4. This is the first row calculation. If you wanted to calculate the second row, here this R2 value becomes new R1 in the second row. This R value becomes R2 value. So if it is the R1 and R2, 23 is R1, 23 is R1, 8 is R2 means Q value is 8, 23 by 8 means Q value is 2. 2 times 8 into 2 times is 16. 23 minus 16 is 7. So remainder is 7. Now this T2 becomes new R1 in the remainder. This T becomes new R2. Now this T value is T1 minus, that means 1 minus Q into T2 minus 4. That means 1 minus minus 8. Its value is 9. Now second row value is calculated. Now come to the third row. How to calculate the third row? So here this R2 becomes new R1 in the third row. This becomes here. So 8 to 7. 8 7 means 7 8 by 7. 1 is the quotient. 1 is the quotient, and its remainder is 1. And this comes to here. This comes to here. What is new T? Minus 4 minus 9. Its value is minus 13. Now come to the fourth row. For fourth row, this is 7 come to here. This one come to here. So 7 1. When dividing 7 by 1, 1 7 7. Its remainder is 0. So we got the remainder 0. And this is the new T1. This is the new T2. Now what is its T value? 9 minus 7 into minus 13. That means 9 plus 8, 91. This value is 100. Since we got the 0 remainder, that means in the last row, this one come to here, this 0 come to here. We got the R2 as 0. Since we got R2 0, this is the this R1 is the GCD value of 100 comma 23. Since the GCD of 100 comma 23 is 1, its value is 1. So this is the T1 value is 13. That is the 13. It is the inverse of multiplicative inverse minus 13 is the multiplicative inverse of 23. Multiplicative inverse of 23 in Z100. In Z100. So multiplicative inverse of 23 is minus 13. Since we got T1 as minus 13. Now the inverse of minus 13, generally minus 13 mod 100, minus 13 mod 100 is equal to 8. So minus 13 can be written as to make to convert the minus 13 as positive, minus 13 plus 100 remainder modulo 100. So its value is 87. So finally 23 and it's 23 and 87 are multiplicative inverses in Z100. We can see this one, whether 23 whether 27 is multiplicative inverse to 23 or not. We can check this by multiplying 23 with its multiplicative inverse 87. So 23 into 87, its value is 2001. If you modulo divide it with 100, because it is the Z100, we got the 1. Since we got the 1, we can say 20, the multiplicative inverse of 23 is 87. So this is the one of the way to find out multiplicative inverse of a number using the extended Euclidean algorithm. We have two tables, addition table and multiplication table. In addition table, each number has an additive inverse. See, so for example, this is the addition table in Z10. Z10, that means modulo 10, Z10. So this is the addition table. This is the multiplication table. Addition table and multiplication tables. Now, what is the addition table? Check the addition table. What is the addition table? In Z10, Z10 means it's very simple. See here, you take row headings and column headings from 0 to 9. 0 to 9, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 column headings, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to 9 row headings. Now, if we add these row corresponding row and column, you get these values. So 0 plus 0 is 0, 0 plus 1 is 1, 0 plus 2. We add row and column numbers. 0, 2 is 2. It's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now come to the second row. It's 1 plus 0 column. Add this 1 with 0. You got the 1. Now 1 plus 1 is 2. 1 plus 3 is 3. 1 plus 2 is 3. 1 plus 1, this 1 and this 3. Its value is 4. Like this, 1 plus 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Here, 1 plus 9 is 10. Actually, here it is the 10. But 10 modulo 10 is 0. That's why I put 0 here. Now, for row number 2, row numbered with 2, these are the values. Here, you got the 2 plus 9, 2 plus 8 is 10. 10 mod 10 is 0. Next, 2 plus 9 is 11. 11 mod 10 is 1. Like so, here you are just you put the remainder values here. After if the sum is exceeding the 10, you put the remainder values here. That's why 3 for 3, these are the values for 4. So like this. So here you check every row has a modulus 0. Every row in this table has, this is 0. This one row has the 0. 2 row has the 0 here. 3 row has the 0 here. So every row has 0 modulus. That means the addition of this row and this particular column gives the 0 modulus at certain places. So here every row has the 0. That means every number from 0 to 9, from 0 to 9 has additive inverses. For example, this 6 has additive inverse as this 4 because it is this one. So every number from 0 to 9 has additive inverses. But if you check the multiplication table, so here also in the multiplication table, take the 0 to 9 and the rows and 0 to 9 at the column headings, multiply each one. So here the first row 0 numbered with 0, first row, zero. This 0 multiply with all 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9. All are getting the zeros. All are zeros. Then come to the second row 1. 1 is multiplied with all 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. All we are getting 1 into 0, 0, 1 into 1, 1, 1 into 2, 1, 2, 3, 4 to 9. Next, multiply, come to the row number 2. Multiply this 2 with all 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we are getting these values. For 3, we are getting these values. For 4, like that. If you observe this one, for the multiplicative, if any number has the multiplicative inverse, only their modulus should be, whenever it multiplied with the multiplicative inverse, it should get modulation of remainder value is 1. So here this table has only 3 ones. If you observe the only this table, observe the multiplication table, we got only 3 ones in that table. First one is this one, this is one, then this is another one, next this is another one, and one more thing is this is another one. So we have only 4 ones here. That means we have only 4 pairs for getting the multiplicative inverses. What are those? This one, first one, for 1 multiplication inverse is 1. How to get this one? In the third row, check the third row. How to get this third row? 1, this 3 into 7. Its value is 21. 21 modulo division 10, 1. And how to get this one? This 7 into 3. That means 7 into 3 or 3 into 7. Both are same. So 21, its modulo division is 1. 9, last one. 9 into 9. Its multiplication is 81. 81 modulo division 10, its value is 1. So we have only 4 pairs, that is 1, 1, 3, 7, and 7, 3, and 9, 9. 3, 7, and 7, 3 both are same numbers. That's why we have only 3 pairs. So here one of the important thing is, as per the addition table, every number has additive inverse in Zn or in Zn. But in the case of the as per the multiplication table, not all the numbers are having the multiplicative inverse. Only few numbers, few integers have the multiplicative inverses. For getting the multiplicative inverse, multiply the values, row and column values, and modulo divide with 10. Whenever you are getting the 1, that is the pair. That is the pair of multiplicative inverses. Here we have the two different sets. We have two different sets. Generally, in the cryptography, why we are using these inverse numbers means generally in the cryptography we use an integer number for the encryption as the encryption key, and its inverse is used as the decryption key. For converting plain text, we should use one of the key. For the encryption, we are using an integer number for the encryption and its inverse number at the decryption. That's why we need to know the inverse of a number. So if the encryption decryption operation is addition, then Zn is the set of possible keys. The Zn is it has the every number has, if it uses the addition, then every integer number has the additive inverse. If the encryption or decryption operation uses the multiplication process, then it uses not Zn, it uses the Zn star. Zn star means only it contains few numbers which are having the multiplicative inverses. So Zn means every number has its additive addition, its additive inverse. But in the case of the multiplication, only not every integer have the multiplicative inverse. Only few numbers have the multiplicative inverse. So that is indicated with Zn star. In this, not all elements of Zn have an inverse. So first, check these one. This is the Zn. This is the Zn star. We need to use Zn when addition inverses are needed. We need to use Zn star when multiplicative inverses are needed. So Zn, for example, Z3. For Z3, its additive inverses Z3 means its set contains 0, 1, 2. Z6, which contains 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Z10, which contains 0 to 9. In the case of the Zn star, for example, Z3 star. So what are the multiplicative inverses in Z3? That means modulo 3. To find out the multiplicative inverses in the Z3. So this first table indicates the addition table. This is the multiplication table. If you see the multiplication table or addition table, so since it is the Z3, only we have the three numbers 0, 1, 2. Here also 0, rows also contain 0, 1, 2. So add the row and columns. We got the 0, 1, 2 and 1, 2 here. Actually 1 plus 2 is 3, but 3 modulo divided 3 is its remainder is 0. Similarly, 2 plus 0 is 2, 2 plus this. So here every row contains zeros. That means for 0, its additive inverse is 0. For 1, its additive inverse is 2 in Z3. For 2, its additive inverse is 1. This is case of Z3. Consider here it is not Z10. In the previous table, I explained the Z10. That's why I have taken 0 to 9 in row and columns. But it is the Z3. That's why I have taken 0, 1, 2 and 0, 1, 2 at columns and rows. Now come to the multiplication table. Z3 star. 0, 1, 2. Here columns also 0, 1, 2. Now multiplied with all the things, 0 is multiplied with all things, we are getting all zeros here. So in the multiplication table, we should get the remainder 1 value after multiplying row and column. Now multiplied the second row 1 with 0, it's 0. Now 1 is multiplied with 1 is 1. Now 1 multiplied with 2 is 2. So here we got 1 here. Now 2 is multiplied with 0. 2 is multiplied with 1 is 2. 2 is multiplied with 4. 2 to 4. 4 modulo division 3 is remainder is 1. So here we got 2 ones here in this Z3 multiplication table. So we got 2 ones. What are the 2 ones? Here this one, this is the 1 into 1, 1, 2 into 2 is 4, the modulo divided with, when it modulo divided with 3, it's 1, so 2 1. So in Z3, only two numbers have the multiplicative inverse, that is 1 and 2. 1 has the multiplication inverse and 2 has the multiplication inverse. Similarly, if it is a Z6, it also contains only two numbers. 1 5 have the multiplicative inverse. Already we have seen only in Z10 only 4 numbers have the multiplicative inverses, 1 3 7 9. So Z10 it shows the all the additive inverses. Z10 star it shows the only few numbers have the multiplicative inverses. So Zn is the it is related to the additive inverses. Zn star is the multiplicative inverses. So we have the two more sets here. Suppose if n is a prime number, Zn in the Zn, if n is a prime number, consider Z13. If the Z13 and Z13 star, if you observe the n is the prime number, then here, if it is a prime number, then it has from 0 to n minus 1, all are having the additive inverses. So if it, since it is the 13, it has the additive inverses from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 12, 0 to 12. And it has the multiplicative inverses not from 0, but it has the so many multiplicative inverses from 1 to 12. Every number from 1 to 12, not 0. Don't include the 0 in Z13 star. So 1 to 12, all are having the multiplicative inverses because it is the prime number. If it is any number, if any number is the prime number, then it has all numbers from 0 to n minus 1 additive inverses. It has the all numbers from 1 to n minus 1. 1 to n minus 1 has the multiplicative inverse. For example, if the n value is 7, the n equal to 7. Since 7 is the prime number, Z7, that means additive, additive inverses from 0 to 6 are, it contains every number contains 0 to 6 contains 0 to 6. It contains the every number from 0 to 6 has the additive inverse. But Z7 star means it has the multiplicative inverses from 1 to 6. From 1 to 6, every number has the multiplicative inverses. So if you observe the 3, one more example is 3. Since 3 is the prime number, since 3 is the prime number, Z3 contains 0, 1, 2 as the additive inverse. Z3 star contains 1, 2 as the multiplicative inverses. So for every, it is very easy to find multiplicative, whether it, how many additive inverses and how many multiplicative inverses if the n is prime number. Okay, if n is the prime number, it has from 0 to n minus 1, all numbers from 0 to n minus 1 has additive inverses, and from 1 to n minus 1 are having the multiplicative inverses. This is the topic. This is the topic today, inverses. So this is very useful topic. So finally, how to find out the additive inverse, how to find out the multiplicative inverses. So this topic is our today.